If she got it out first turn, it would have been a different situation. But Vileplume's only devastating when it's the first turn, because once you see Oddish, there it is. Once you see Oddish, you kind of know it's Vileplume. So if they don't get the lock on the first turn, it's not as devastating because you're able to play out most of your hand because you know it's coming. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of PTCGO, and I'm going to show you another version of Giratina, and this is actually requested by Chase Turner. He commented on a deck prior, asking if I can build a Giratina power deck, and just from the sound of it, it actually intrigued me a little bit. I was like, you know what, I actually never thought of pairing these two together because they actually cover kind of what the other one is lacking. And yes, I also am making Celestin, I believe is how you say that, Celestin Pokemon, making the Archie's deck, Archie's Harem deck as well. And Zach, don't worry, I'm also fixing up the Ampharos deck. I'm kind of tweaking them so they're a little more, they're like 2.0s of their former styles. So I'm tweaking them. They are going to be uploaded as well, but they're not quite yet finished. So what I do have ready is actually Giratina and Pyoar. And I actually like this combo because Pyoar, one of the main reasons why Pyoar actually started falling out of kind of like the eye of Pokemon is because Megas became more available in the format. They had the Spirit Link, so therefore they're easier to come by, and they're actually being seen in play now. And Pyoar just started getting dominated by the Megas because, of course, he doesn't do a lot of damage. He doesn't do knockout damage. His whole thing has been his ability. So when Megas came out, they kind of just crushed Pyoar into the point where it's kind of hard finding a Pyoar. It's hard finding Pyoar decks. It would just be like road decks from here and there. The reason why is the ability intimidating main. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's basic Pokemon. So of course, a lot of basic Pokemon are EXs. And so EXs, this card was amazing because EXs couldn't really touch it. If the Pokemon poisoned you, however, yes, it still went through. It's just damage that it prevents. Poisoning and de-evolutioning, kind of thing like that. Things that affect the ending effects of a Pokemon's attack besides damage still go through. So Pyoar, of course, Megas are what crushed it. What's interesting though is Giratina over here, Giratina-EX 170 Dragon type Pokemon has Renegade Pulse and doesn't prevent all effects of attacks including damage, so it's a little better than Intimidating Main, done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Mega Evolution Pokemon. However, the main flaw with Giratina-EX is Pokemon like Lugia and Pokemon like Evolta-EX, they do a lot of damage to Giratina because he has to have 4 energies on him. He only does 100 or 120 depending on Muscle Man. However, Giratina and Lugia kind of do a lot. Another thing that also harms him quite a bit is Xerneas, just regular Xerneas and Fairy type Pokemon. The only Fairy type Pokemon that Pyoar usually has to worry about is just Mega Gardevoir. And what do you know? Mega Gardevoir is also covered by Giratina-EX. It's a really interesting balance they have between each other. The way I usually play this deck is depends on who I get, but I try to get Reshiram out, of course, first. But I look at my opponent's deck and I see what they're running and see what they have. A lot of the archetypes have similar styles. So obviously, if you see a Kyogre, you know Kyogre isn't the main attacker. It's Primal Kyogre that would be the main attacker. So you would get Giratina-EX ready. The same thing goes for if you're fighting like I don't know, an Evolta deck. You know, Evolta is the main attacker, so you would get Pyoar ready. You get whoever is going to be the wall of the game ready. Hydreigon is obviously for us, Reshiram's support and also Giratina support. He's a nice. I really like his ability. It's called Dragon Road. I want to say it's like a reference to Snake Road from DBZ, but I'm not even sure. It's 180 Dragon type Pokemon, so he's a pretty bulky guy. He's pretty big. And his ability is, if there's a stadium card in play, the retreat cost for a Dragon type Pokemon is 2 less. So he would need 1 more energy to retreat. Giratina would need 1 more, but Reshiram, who is the main star or the backbone of the deck, has a free retreat cost now. He's a 1/3 Dragon type Pokemon. What we're going to take a look at is the ability Turbo Blaze. Once during your turn, before you attack, if this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, you may attach Fire Energy card to your hand to your dragon Pokemon. So obviously he can't be attached to Pyoar, but Pyoar has his own support. What we want to do is we want to get Giratina ready as fast as possible, and it is actually completely possible to get him ready in the first turn. We can use Escape Rope, Hydreigon's ability, attach a DDD to him, and then use Reshiram's ability twice and get him ready on the first go. It's completely possible to get him ready. I feel like this is a great combo for each other, and Pyoar is basically on his own area doing his own thing. He gets ready on his own terms. Shaman is here obviously for support with setup, helps keep things consistent. As a 110 dragon, 110 colors type Pokemon, yeah, everyone loves Shaman. One of the neat cards in this deck is actually Energy Switch. Energy Switch helps me switch around energy from either Reshiram or Pyoar or Giratina himself. Say for instance, I missed an energy. I only have 3 on Giratina, and I'm fighting a Mega Medicham. I can energy switch the energy from Pyoar to Giratina-EX and have it ready. So it's kind of a nice little synergy. I try to make them have. Obviously, they don't have much synergy, but with this kind of build, particularly, they have a pretty nice synergy with themselves. We also have 3 escape ropes. This is to maintain the maximum amount of times we can use Reshiram in a turn. We have 3 Fury Torches to just draw more cards, really. 1 First Letter just in case we can get anything else we need. 3 Transmode, the Transmode for Ultra Balls or Verse Seekers or anything else we really need. They're mostly for the Ultra Balls or Verse Seekers. The 2 Blacksmiths are pretty important. This deck discards fire energy like you wouldn't believe it, so Blacksmith's very important to get back energy onto Pyoars and Litleos, and if need be, we can actually energy switch the energy off of them to something else. 1 Lysander, because I always like just having 1. Some decks favor 2, I just favor 1. 4 Sycamores, because Sycamore is my buddy. 1 Teammates, just in case Shaman goes down, or Reshiram goes down, or maybe Litleo goes down. 1 Faded Town, which is a newer card. I don't think I've ever talked about this one. It's at any time between turns, puts 2 damage counters on each Mega Evolved Pokemon. We don't have Mega Evolution Pokemon, so it doesn't really harm us, and it just really harms Mega Evolved Pokemon. So we're in the clear for that. 3 Scorched Earths, obviously, because of fire energy. When you discard them to draw more cards. 3 Muscle Bands. The Muscle Bands are for Giratina, but I also put them on Pyoar or Reshiram, and at some cases I also put them on Hydreigon. Pyoar is just Muscle Bands is just an overall better, one of my favorite tools. 4 Double Dragon Energies, solely for Giratina-EX, but you never know when Hydreigon or Reshiram need to attack. 8 Fire Energy, just for Pyoar and for Giratina, of course. So that is the build. The deck works actually pretty fun. It's pretty nice to wall your opponent. As far as bad matchups, Vespi Queen proves a little bit of a hard matchup. It depends on speed. If we get set up faster, we just dominate. But if your opponent somehow plays a Vaporeon Vespi Queen deck, it's kind of a harder time for Pyoar to do anything. Nightmarch decks, well, same kind of thing, speed. If we get a Pyoar out and all they have is Joltix, obviously we win. They don't really run much. Decks that run Hex Maniac will prove a problem. Luckily for us, Hex Maniac isn't a very popular card. Decks usually run 1 Hex Maniac, if that. They don't run more than that, pretty much. They just run maybe 1. If Vileplume was a more dominant deck, then of course you would see more Hex Maniacs, probably like around 2 or 3. Not 3 is a little too much, probably about 2. If Vileplume was a very dominant deck, but it's not a 2 dominant deck. It's you see it every now and then, and so people usually just run 1. So yeah, so that's pretty much the deck. It runs nice, it runs smooth. I like it a lot actually. It's kind of fun, just to wall your opponent in that weird kind of way. But yeah, you just want to see what your opponent's going to run. If he runs Mega Evolved Pokemon, obviously you want to get Giratina ready. If he runs a lot of basic Pokemon, you want to get Pyoar ready. 2-2 line here. It works nice. I used to have a heavier line of Pyoar, but it became a little clunky, so this is actually what I prefer the most in my online play. It seems to work out the best. So that's about it. Hope you guys enjoy the matches. They were kind of hard to get a match because people kept conceding, and so yeah, so I didn't get a full match most of the times. I get a nice match, but then they conceded, so I had to like redo it again. It's a hassle. But hope you guys do enjoy. So we are we're fighting against Panda Flare 12, and he's running grass. Alright, I've gotten tails like 4 times in a row, so it should be heads. Yes! He's running grass water. My bad, he's running grass colorless. And so we start off with Hydreigon. Not the worst start off with, because we can get Reshiram out. Not the best either. It's a Spinner Rack deck. Oh, just K. It's a Mega Sceptile deck. And so we're gonna put out a Sacred Earth. Go ahead and get out. We don't really need anything else. Just end my turn. Not end my turn. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel that. I'm gonna Scorched Earth the Fire Energy. All right, good. Get rid of the Blacksmith and the Scorched Earth. Get out a Reshiram, of course. I'll put him down. There we go. I'll go and attach to Hydreigon as well, and then Sycamore. Put a DD, Turbo Blaze my Fire Energy onto my Pokemon. Just end my turn. I don't want to do anything else. I could have Shaman and blah 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 blah. You know the usual. But I kind of want to see what else is in my opponent's deck. He's gonna replace it with force giant plants. He's gonna put on his own Shaman. Maybe I should have not taken it easy on him. Oh well, you live and learn. If this is a tournament, then I would have gone all the way, but it's not. I'm just playing for fun here. I'm playing casually, so I don't want to like being too intimidating. But let's see what my opponent does. He played on a Shaman to draw a fresh hand. It's gonna Sycamore and he's gonna Ultra Ball away an Evil Soda and a Switch and get out a Sceptile. He also, oh my god, it's a Beautifly deck. Beautifly is a nice tech. Yeah, if you don't know what Beautifly does, it prevents us. It prevents EXs from attacking it. Let's go with an Ultra Ball. And then we're going to Ultra Ball away the Fury Torch and the Faded Town. I want to show them that we also have our own little techs. I'm going to show them Pyoar. Pyoar, of course, being a scary Pokemon, since I'm going Shaman. There you go. Being a scary Pokemon because we hit for weaknesses. Is there anything in there that was marvelous? Sycamore and the Blacksmith. Anything else? No, it's fine. We're going to just retreat into our Giratina and Chaos Wheel, knocking out the poor Ariados and getting out a prize card. I believe we got teammates. I wasn't sure. It was either teammates, Sycamore, or Verse Seeker. It's gonna put down another Sceptile-EX, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, you can only Unseen Claw, really. Tails, fine by us. And we got a Fire Energy and a Fury Torch and quite a bit of things, but nothing I can really capitalize on. Gonna evolve. Yeah, I'm gonna go and evolve into our Pyoar, of course. Put on Pyoar. Fury Torch, the Fire Energy we have. We got one. I'm gonna go and Versus Seeker. My opponent gives in. I was gonna Versus Seeker for the Blacksmith, attach, and you know the drill. I was gonna do quite a bit of things. So we are going against Jay Debris, and he's running a fighting deck, well, fighting colors deck, and so we're gonna flip. I guess I got it wrong. I think I chose tails and you got heads. I didn't get a very great hand. I just got Giratina and I got a Lavender and Ultra Ball and 2 Escape Rope, and nothing too amazing, but we do have the option of getting Shaman, and my opponent starts off with a Meditite, so obviously I know it's a Meditite or a Medicham deck, probably with some Lucario, Hawlucha. Lander is making his debut. So essentially a classic fighting deck. I bet you guys see quite a bit of that lately. I guess because of the bundle. I'm pretty sure soon we're gonna see seeing Gengar decks as well. Anyways, besides the point, my opponent battle compressor, and just waiting here to see what he battle compressor. I look and oh, it's a Maxis, which is kind of interesting. It's a little tech card. So obviously the Maxis, he's gonna Versus Seeker for a Karina, and obviously the Maxis is for either Machamp, which is what we just saw right now, or for Mega Lucario. Those are the 2 Maxis cards, because you can just bypass the total evolution line if you just Maxis a Machamp. And so he Ultra Balls and gets a Shaman to put it down. Well, he attaches a Strong Energy to Meditite. He's got a Level Ball for probably another Meditite or maybe Hawlucha. Gets out of Hawlucha. And he is going to go ahead and bench Hawlucha. Nice card, free tree cost, and he's going to go ahead and play down Shaman. Draw, I think, about a 4-cat. Draw about 4 cards. And so yeah, so far he plays Trainer Mail. So far a pretty big turn for my opponent. Gets a Muscle Band, which is very nice. Yeah, so far a very big turn. Doesn't attach the Muscle Band, which is kind of interesting. I get out a Power for my draw, which is not amazing. So once again, I have not a great hand, but something to work with at least. I'm gonna go ahead and Ultra Ball away the Power and probably the Lysander if anything, or the Fury Torch. Lysander. So I'm gonna go and Power Ultra Ball away, and I'm probably gonna get out a Shaman. Shaman seems like the best bet to get, so I get out a Shaman. I'm gonna play down cards for the sake of playing it. I'm pretty sure I annoyed my opponent. Because I played an Escape Rope, and then I'm gonna play another Escape Rope. So he's gonna have to switch twice. He just switches out to Hawlucha, and then he's gonna switch back to Meditite, and then we play a Shaman. Reason being is we want to get our hand pretty low, and so we get out a Giratina-EX, and we also get out a Rishram. We got Scorched Earth and we got Fury Torch, but Ultra Ball might overall be better just to Ultra Ball those away and get out a Litleo or Hydreigon EX. So we go and get a Hydreigon EX out. We're going to put him down, and then we also got Sycamore, so we're going to get a fresh hand of 7. So a lot of draw power on both sides. I have a big turn as well. I put on my Muscle Band on my other Hydreigon EX, and I'm attaching to my Giratina, and I'm gonna retreat into my Rishram and attach to this exact same Giratina. So I could have had 2 energies, but because of Giratina being the active, I had to discard it and put Rishram in the active, who is a much better setup Pokemon than Giratina will be. So my opponent plays Trainer Mail, and he puts down a Landorus. So Baby Lando comes into action. He's gonna play a Switch. So of course the energy acceleration of the deck is Baby Lando. Our first turn was pretty big, and his first turn was also pretty big, so a lot of cards being played. He gets an energy retrieval for, of course, the fighting energy, and he's going to actually discard it with Scorched Earth, so our Stadium working kind of against me, but it's fine. And he puts down a strong energy onto his Lando and a fighting Stadium. So luckily, and also Sycamores. Luckily, Rishram is not an EX, so he won't be doing added damage with fighting Stadium. He puts on another Meditite. So it's a very heavy Medicham deck, and he also does his attack, and he's going to attach an energy to probably the bench Meditite, the one without energy. And so Rishram leaving the hit, getting 40 on it. If it was Giratina, it would have been about 60. And so our hand now, I'm going to go ahead and attach Double Dragon energy to us, and I'm going to actually get rid of their Stadium with our own Stadium, Fated Town, Fated Town. And we're going to Sycamore away. I'm also going to use Rishram's ability and Turbo Blaze onto our Giratina once again, getting him all ready. We have yet another Muscle Band, but I'm going to go ahead and get an Ultra Ball. I'll play down Trainer Mail and get an Ultra Ball, and play the other Trainer Mail, and nothing really too amazing. A Blacksmith was there, but he's already in discard pile, which I can get. I'm going to Ultra Ball away the Scorched Earth, the teammates and the Scorched Earth, the Muscle Band, and get out a Litleo and put on Litleo. So Power also making somewhat of an introduction here, because I do realize that there might be Lucario, and Giratina cannot keep up with Lucario in terms of damage output. So I want to count Power, so Lucario can't touch Power. Knock out Lando, I get a dragon, I get a double dragon energy off of it, which is pretty nice since our opponent might be able to enhance hammer right away or crushing hammer right away. So it's always good to have a backup. And so I'm just waiting for my new active. He puts on Hawlucha. I kind of wish I had a Lysander so I can get rid of the other threat, which was the bench Meditite with the energies. Unfortunately, I don't have the Lysander in my hand. I could get it, but just things. And so he Karinas again for a Medicham, and he's gonna go and evolve it. He also gets a Versus Seeker. So what's really happening to my opponent is that we're actually outspeeding him in this Giratina, albeit is actually outspeeding my opponent, so it's harder for him to keep up. If he doesn't knock out Giratina and this turn or do something significant, then we'll press into the lead. He does Flying Press for 60, not that bad. We draw Power, which is pretty good, so we go in and get a Power. We're going to go and we can go ahead and knock out the Hawlucha, or we can knock out the Meditite. I kind of feel like knocking out Hawlucha is pretty nice because Hawlucha is a free retreat cost and it only hits EXs. But I could have last hunted and got out the Medicham and knocked it out. Either way, I kind of feel like Hawlucha is pretty good to have. It's a free retreat cost. He's going to go and promote Medicham is going to Versus Seeker out for a Karina, and then he is going to play Karina and gets out, I believe, a Lucario-EX. Let me check. No, it gets out a Medicham. So sticking with the Medicham deck very well. And what else does he get here? What's his item card he is choosing? He gets on a Focus Sash, which is actually pretty good because now it's going to take 2 attacks from us to knock him out. So Focus Sash, once again, being kind of an annoying tool, but it's a very good tool too as well. He's going to go ahead and attack us with Yoga Kick and do 70 twice, doing 140 damage, knocking us out. The play here is to actually promote Reshiram because he's our free retreat cost, so we can actually promote him and get free retreat costs with him. So it's always nice to have Reshiram with Hydreigon since they have a nice free retreat cost. I could have put on Sacred Earth or Scorched Earth, but I don't want him having the added draw power with his fighting energies, so I actually promote Leave the Fated Town there because it doesn't benefit anybody, it's just staying there. And I knock out his Medicham. Unfortunately, his other Medicham is the one with the Focus Sash, so he's able to take 2 hits from that. So I'm just expecting a Fighting Energy and a Focus Sash from my opponent. He puts down a Baby Lando, and he puts on the Lucario-EX. So he had the Lucario-EX in his hand, and he does run Lucario-EX, which is I thought he didn't because he didn't bench it at any point up until now. So he goes ahead and light centers out our power. That's a big mistake for him. He doesn't actually put a Focus Sash on his Medicham either, but he light centers out a power, which is a big mistake because we actually power that up in 1 turn, and we Scorching Fang, discarding our energy to do 90 to knock out the Medicham. Yeah, it's a really big mistake. You don't. I never revealed, but that's why you gotta look in the opponent's discard pile. I never revealed. I had Blacksmith or anything like that, but I mean, if you look in the discard pile, you would have saw it. I guess he was just banking on it. I don't have Versus Seeker. He puts on a Fighting Stadium and he promotes Lucario-EX. He also attaches the Focus Sash to Lucario-EX, which is kind of a bummer. So now, I mean, at any point we could have knocked him out in 1 hit, but it is pretty annoying to have a Focus Sash on it. So if we were able to, we wouldn't enter. He does attack us. Our Hydreigon-EX, he light centers it out, but luckily we have our own light center of our own, and we have Energy Switch. I Energy Switch the energy on Power off to Hydreigon-EX and actually retrieve for free, and I light center out the Medicham. I light center out the Shaman-EX for the victory. So a lot of cards working together in the final explosion. Super awesome. Alright, nice. So it took 6 turns, 9 minutes. Nice. Yeah, that's about it, huh? Well, yeah, it felt longer than it actually looked. Well, actually, 9 minutes is kind of long. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's Giratina-EX and Power, so you don't have to stick with one or the other. You can kind of blend them. As you can see, my opponent didn't really believe Power was a true addition to the deck, but he didn't know that. So that sudden burst of energy, like the Blacksmith into the regular fire energy, worked well, and then the Energy Switch comes in clutch. I swear to you, it's just a nice jelly of a deck, I guess. Took on Lucario, even though Lucario didn't come out later, but Medicham was a pretty competitive deck. I also have out many Mianshao decks too, also the same kind of scenario. The only one I've really had trouble with this deck when it comes to damage output and stuff like that would be, believe it or not, fairy decks kind of give me my run for the money because, well, lately people have been playing them a lot because of the ladder, but also Giratina is weak to fairy type Pokemon. So if a smart player, when it comes to a fairy deck, when they have it, a smart player, because they usually play Gardevoir, a smart player would actually Mega Evolve 2 of your Gardevoirs, but keep the last Gardevoir unevolved, because Mega Gardevoir handles power like nothing, And then of course Gardevoir, just 100 damage times 2 is 200, so it knocks out Giratina. So that's kind of the harder deck I thought was fairy decks. But other than that, it's a pretty fun deck, locks down a lot of things, and that's about it. Hope you guys do mess it up. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please leave a like, it would mean a lot. And that's about it. I'm also gonna start uploading Poke stuff, like not just PTCGO but other kind of things that are related to Pokemon, like well, 2 of them would be surprises, like news kind of stuff, I guess. And also I'm gonna upload another thing to help along with the channel, but that's something else later. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Happy Halloween. I know Halloween's not until about next week or so, but I'm gonna say it after any of these videos now. Happy Halloween. Or is there anything else you call Halloween? Yeah, later.